Super Random Japan. Nani?
Okay, so you want to watch some Japanese horror movies. Well, we got 5 must-watch movies for you. First though, I'm going to run down a handful of horror categories and some honorable mentions in each. Stay tuned for the 5 we think everyone should take a crack at though. First off, we have a category some people may find boring but could be the very thing that many people are hoping to see: classic horror stories. These movies are movies that are based off Japanese folklore or take place in more traditional times. Though there are many, some of the best include Onibaba, Ugetsu, Kuroneko, and Kwaidan. The next class is your standard semi-modern pop classics. These are movies that set the standard for Japanese horror in the modern era, both in Japan and internationally. Most likely, these are movies many viewers have already come across. They include hits like Ju-on, The Grudge, Kairo, Pulse, Honogurai Mizu no Soko Kara, literally from the depths of the dark water, or in English, just dark water, and Uzumaki. As a side note to Naruto fans, Uzumaki means vortex, and Naruto refers to the Naruto Maki in ramen, a fish paste roll with a signature pink spiral, like a vortex. The horror movie, however, has a much darker approach to vortexes. Give it a go. It's a slow burn, but a pretty decent one. If you go beyond the mainstream, you're sure to end up in the low budget or B movies. As for B films, some standouts are Tag, a bizarre supernatural thriller that'll keep you guessing. But if you're into the goriest gore ever, then look no further than Grotesque. The name says it all. I don't think it gets any more shocking than this. Not for the faint of heart, folks. Finally, we get into the wacky cultish films. These are basically films so over the top it's impossible to take them seriously. Still, some people's stomachs may still churn, and mostly people might just find them goofy or weird to tolerate. Still, they include classics like Tetsuo the Iron Man, Tokyo Gore Police, Machine Girl, and Meatball Machine Kodoku, to name a few. Okay, so you get most of the genres now, hopefully. If there's something I missed, be sure to leave a comment. Anyway, now on to our top 5 must-see Japanese horror movies. Number 1, Ringu, aka The Ring. A movie about a mysterious videotape. Yes, kids, we used to need to put a big brick into a bigger box to watch videos in the old days. Anyway, after watching a video, a mysterious entity kills the viewer after 7 days. Why 7? You'll have to watch the movie, or tape, to find out. While this is as mainstream as it gets, and likely the number 1 movie everyone has seen, it needs to be in this list. Not only because it's the most widely seen and has a Hollywood adaptation, but because it set the wave for Japanese horror at the dawn of the 21st century. It introduced us to Sadako, a character that would take over Asian horror tropes and launch a series of sequels. Although Sadako is a legend, her name of course changed in the Hollywood adaptation, but I still think Hollywood rocked this one. Unlike Ju-on and some other Asian horror remakes, I'd actually recommend the Hollywood version of this one just as much, if not a bit more, than the Japanese version. My only small complaint is that the Hollywood version, the girl seemed to age when transformed into a corpse and wasn't as creepy in real life. The spoof comedy series Scary Movie even portrayed this as well.
Cindy, this bitch is messing up my floor. Cindy, help me. I'm not listening. Get up, you little ugly bitch. Come on, let me see what you got. What you going to?
Plus, even my Asian friends and girlfriends have admitted there's something about the pitch black hair and pale skin of Asians that makes zombie ghost versions of them a little creepier for horror movies, so the Japanese shines in its main character. Anyway, whether you watch the original Japanese version or the Hollywood remake, you're sure to get a good dose of storyline, intrigue, and creepiness. If you only watch one Japanese horror, it should probably be this, as it crosses most audiences pretty fairly. House. Japanese cinema, much like their anime, manga, and other media they produce, can have quite goofy humor compared to other films from around the world. This also extends to the horror genre. A good example of this is the 1977 experimental horror comedy film Hausu. In Hausu, or House in English, a schoolgirl travels with her 6 friends to her elderly aunt's home in the country, only to succumb to supernatural hauntings that kill off the girls one by one. The film is incredibly entertaining and downright goofy, but has some very creative, albeit low budget, and imaginative special effects. A main highlight being when a piano comes to life, bites a girl's fingers off, then devours the girl whole. The movie also has a ton of other memorable scenes, like when the girl's teacher, who is attempting to find her and her friends, randomly is turned into a pile of bananas toward the end of the film. This film is a prime example of how silly and over-the-top Japanese media can be, even in their horror films. It's no surprise for this one, though, as the director's 10-year-old daughter gave him some of the ideas for the film. Audition. When Japan dips their toes into surreal horror, you get something like Audition, which follows a widower named Shigeharu Aoyama, as he tries to find that special someone to replace his lost love. He definitely doesn't find it in a young woman named Asumi, who turns out to be someone very different from how she appears. It's fitting, though, as Aoyama did become romantically involved with Asumi under false pretense or guise that she was auditioning for the role in a film, but in reality the audition was set up by Aoyama's film producer friend for the purpose of finding Aoyama a new wife, and Asumi was completely prepared to play that role. The film is full of disturbing imagery, in particular the dream sequence close to the end of the film, and especially all scenes involving Asumi's apartment, including a mysterious sack that makes otherworldly noises. There are many surreal dreamlike sequences, and most famously a horrific torture finale involving piano wire.
これはね、骨付きのお肉でも簡単に切り落とせるの。
やめろ。
I guess whether it's a schoolgirl eating piano or someone using piano wire to cut someone up, the Japanese bring out the horror in the instrument. And all this happens in spite of the desire of Aoyama and Asumi to find love. Western filmmakers like David Lynch are known for their contributions to the surreal psychological horror genre, and it's great to see that Japan is just as capable at adding fantastic entries into that genre as well, and Audition is one of the best examples of this type of horror cinema. If you're looking for creepy and enchanting, look no further than Audition. One Cut of the Dead. A wacky idea revolving around the premise that a movie director wants to make a zombie movie all in one take. However, to do so, he's willing to put his actors' lives in danger by placing them in a location with real zombies. However, nothing is as it seems in this movie. It's like an onion that, as the movie progresses, peels back the layers. This is a totally unique take on the horror genre. It crosses multiple genres, and thus makes it truly stand out. I almost wanted to say that it's like Shaun of the Dead due to the comedic elements, but it's much more than that. I myself was confused and ready to stop watching after the first 35 minutes of a 1 hour and 35 minute movie. While interesting, I didn't understand the angle they were trying to take. However, if you stick with it, you won't be disappointed at all. The movie is truly made in the last hour of the film. As the movie progresses, you gradually become more and more aware of what the movie is really about, and it all ends with a pleasant surprise and a smile. I know that's not what one would expect from a quote-unquote horror movie, but that's why this one is totally unique and special. Give it a watch and you'll understand. Cure. Cure revolves around a series of inexplicable and gruesome murders in Tokyo. Each crime scene is marked by a bizarre X carved into the victim's neck, and there seems to be no motive or connection between the killers and victims. The film follows Detective Kenichi Takabe, assigned to the cases. As he unravels the dark secrets behind the disturbing phenomenon that caused these murders, he becomes increasingly entangled in a web of psychological horror, exploring themes of identity, consciousness, and the blurred line between sanity and madness.
この人はどうです？
知らない。
これはあなたですよ。
It combines mystery, horror, and the supernatural. Cure is a slow-burning atmospheric thriller that will keep you on the edge of your seat, providing a chilling and thought-provoking journey into the depths of the human psyche. There you have it. Our recommendations for Japanese horror movies for anyone looking to branch off a bit this Halloween, or whenever. Let us know in the comments if we missed any, or what you think of the list. Otherwise, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get more reviews, recommendations, and general Japanese culture-related goofery in the future. Later.